Bergeron's in it. We're going to be immediately back to yellow. And the 1-2-7 of Blake Mutulu, he is going to get given a gift after his two championship rivals both get caught up in an incident here on the restart. What in the world happened here?
Christmas came in August. That is what happened there, Randy, for the 127 of Blake Mutulu. I believe the 12 and the 00 will continue on, but obviously they're gonna have to go all the way to the back of the field. My goodness, what a change of events here. Huge championship implications.
You look at the restart there, and I have to say, I think that 00 of Kendall Tucker chase, he did it on the initial start of this race. He chopped the nose of that 33, tried to do it again, and it actually did. Wait a minute, what's happened to the 127? Why isn't Blake Mutulu at the head of the field?
I believe the 127 may have just gotten a black flag for the start there. I'm not sure, Randy, but something's going on here. The iRacing officials are trying to figure it out.
He's had his black flags cleared. We're trying to, I think, sort out what the running order is supposed to be as cars are circulating around the racetrack right now. That should keep him up near the head of the field, and that is going to be the call. So race control, I think, making a good decision there and keeping that 1-2 end of the yellow to get the running order sorted because of that confusion. But we will be going back to green here in about 1 quarter-mile trips around the racetrack time. What sort of drama we have happening here today as the 00 of Kendall Tucker still out there and rolling. He is going to restart here from 17th. The 12 of Bergeron able to keep that car rolling, but he is damaged. He will restart from 8th. But the 127 of Blake Mutulu has a little bit of worry with that 12 car still being back there. But how bad is the damage on the ABR car of Alex Bergeron? Restart. We've seen drama through the first two. The 41 of Chad Prescott tries to jump it. He's not going to do so. We're back to green flag racing on lap number 13.
Blake Mutulu slides himself down in 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway. He's got a pretty solid lead over the 41 car, Chad Prescott. Prescott now into the second spot. He makes it by the 33 of Evan C. They're still fighting for second, but Prescott's got it at the start-finish line. Here comes Kevin Dedman now into the picture as well. The 0 car runs in 4th, and just behind him, it's last year's champion, the 24 car, Zach Leon Hardy, rounding out the top 5.
Zach's trying to get up there. The 127 of Blake Mutulu chops the nose of the 41 of Chad Prescott. Nearly contact between them. 33 of Evan C. still running the top, trying to get to that dirt car of Chad Prescott around the outside. A little bit of sparks coming off the back of that 33 machine as the 41 of Prescott is going to cut that nose away. I see 3 wide in your mid-pack lead. The 51 of McKinney's involved in that. The 2 of Dylan Hauser is there as well. And the 12 of Bergeron caught up in this fight also. So while they start single filing near the head of the field, as I say that, the fight for second is on. The 41 of Chad Prescott, he rolled the middle, and Evan C in the 33 nearly got around the outside of him through 1 and 2 this time, and C's got to run and get into the back of that 41 car.
Now here comes Kevin Dedman, 3 wide for the second spot off turn 4. Dedman trying to make a move down low. He looks inside of his teammate, the 33 of C, slides up the racetrack. He gets 2 for the price of 1, gets into the side of Prescott, and Dedman's to second. It's a 2 for 1 wholesale down to the corner for Dedman. He's up to P2 now.
Kevin Dedman, what a move for him. He was maybe robbed of the main event last week, as the 33 and the 41 still leaning on each other. The 51 of Matt McKinney, he wants to fight for this as well. He's having a fantastic run here near the head of the field. Was really strong at Williams Grove as well. He fights with the 12 of Bergeron. He still has that 33 and the 24 side by side out ahead of him, and they're still fighting for it out here as Blake Mutulu. He's now to a nearly 2-second lead.
Yeah, Mutulu is out to like you said, a 2-second lead. He's on a Sunday drive up front, hoping for no cautions. He wants to stay to go green and checkered. Big slide job for the 5th spot. Give it to Evan C. Bergeron right back down to the inside. And here comes the 2 car of Hauser down to the inside as well. 3 wide again. Hauser goes by 2 cars right there off turn 4. He gets into the side of Bergeron. Contact down the front stretch, and Hauser makes a great move there and moves up to the 5th spot. A good balance still going behind him between the 33C and the 12 of Bergeron.
C and Bergeron really fighting for it here. There's a little bit of contact between them. Alex Bergeron gets kicked loose. He's going to hold on to that race car. The 52 of James Edens. He was phenomenal in his heat. He's going to pressure the 12 of Bergeron on the bottom. Won't be able to do so as Alex gets clear on the top side. Now still working that 33 is Alex Bergeron. Let's check in on Kendall Tucker. He's still recovering quite well. Restarted here in the 17th spot. He currently rolls 12th chase. That's actually making good progress.
Yeah, he's actually made a good of a bad situation here. Tucker's still got to pick up more spots, so if he wants to try and not make that championship hit too bad here as he slides in front of the 22 car, Brandon Proudfoot takes over the 11th spot. Keeping an eye on this driver because he's so important in this championship standings. The 00 of Kendall Tucker, car spinning in front of him. Wow, a great maneuver there to miss him, and the yellow's out.
Let's see who other than the 97 of Garrett Robinson. Who was he fighting with? Actually, the 00 Kendall Tucker right out in front of him. Let's see what happened here for Garrett in towards 1 and 2 this time. He just slides up and gets the 51 of McKinney into the side. I think Matt pretty much bounced off the cushion, didn't have the great run up there off the top side of the racetrack, tried to come down, and they both just kind of ended up in the same spot. Chase, I don't think that was really hard racing. That was just one car running one line, and the car ahead of him made a mistake. Not much either could do there.
Yeah, definitely not. The 97 car was just sliding up to the cushion right there, and the 51 car might have bobbled up there or hit the wall or something, slowed him down just enough to where that 97 car got into the side of him and turned him around real quick right in front of your points leader. That was a close call again for Kendall Tucker. So, but he's up to 11th now, Randy. A great rebound here for him after restarting 17th. He can maybe sneak off maybe a back half of the top 10 here.
So through all this hype, we have crossed half distance for this 50-lap main event. Lights are out, I believe, on the iRacing safety truck. Looks like we're going to be getting a single file restart this time is what race control is going to dictate. So the 127 of Blake Mutulu, his 2-second lead is going to get a race, but he will not have the 0 at Dedman on the restart right next to him, or will he? Dedman tries to jump it. He won't be able to. The 127 tries to open up a gap, both in this race and in the points. It's slider line for Blake through 1 and 2 that time. Doesn't get the exit quite hooked up, but he's still got a gap opened up from the 0 at Dedman.
Dedman looks really good right now, Randy. We know how hungry he is for a victory after leading a lot of laps last week at Williams Grove. He wants to win so badly, and he wants to get himself up into this championship fight. He came into the night 53 points behind in the 5th spot. Mutulu bounces off the wall and turns 3 and 4. Dedman trying to close in on him. It looks like the 127 is just really good right now. 3rd spot's the 41 of Prescott. 4th is the 24 Leon Hardy, and in 5th right now is the 2 car of Dylan Hauser.
Hauser having another good run here today. He was phenomenal out at Williams Grove. It was contact with that 0 Kevin Dedman that took him out of the race lead. Behind him, the 33C and the 12 of Bergeron. They continue fighting. Everyone single filed up around the top side of the racetrack. Seems you want to be up against the wall as we approach 15 to go.
Yeah, the 127 of Mutulu just tagged the wall right there and turns 3 and 4. Got to be really tricky up on that cushion. You don't want to get into the wall or else you're going to lose a lot of ground. As the 41 of Prescott continues to pressure the back of the 0 car of Dedman off turn number 4 and down the front straightaway. They'll put lap number 35 in the books, just 15 to go. These guys, it's starting to get heated up there for that 2nd spot.
Second spot, one to watch between Dedman and Prescott. Prescott throws the inside move a little bit, tries to get the 127 Mutulu. It's a little bit lower on the racetrack. Trying to, I think, find traction and find some moisture as we approach 10 laps to go. The 41 trying to get there, doing anything he can. This racetrack has really single filed up from what we saw earlier. 41 slider line on the 0. That's not going to work. Behind us, see the 12 of Bergeron. He's getting into some contact and racing here. The 52 of Edens. He wants that spot away.
Yeah, James Eden's trying the bottom of the racetrack, but it just not look that good. You see that big run the 12 car of Bergeron gets off the top of the racetrack, and it's just too good right now. The bottom is not in like we saw it in the heat races, so it looks like you've got to be up on the wall as Edens tags the wall right there in 1 and 2. Now he's going to definitely lose some ground to that 12 car Bergeron, and now into the clutches of the 00 Kendall Tucker, who's now moved into the 9th spot.
Kendall Tucker, after getting caught up early, moves back into the top 10 and starts working on his teammate. He's going to be fighting with a 12 of Bergeron soon if he's able to keep this up. And still at the head of the field, Blake Mutulu not getting touched by anyone. Kevin Dedman only 0.6 of a second back. Actually reels in a 10.5 that time, down to 0.5 of a second. So maybe the 0 is finding something late here as we're going to be 10 to go this time.
It's just so hard to keep that pace up, Randy. You got to be able to do that every single lap. There's a good slide job battle going on between the 12 of Bergeron and the 33 of C down the front straightaway. Evan C.
made a mistake.
Oh, big mistake. It sounds like from the 127. Jules, here comes the 0 Dedman. He's all over him, Randy. I'm not sure what happened there, but the 127 is under some pressure now with just 9 laps to go.
Gap for the race lead down and under 0.3 of a second. The 0 at Dedman is there. It wasn't a big mistake for Mutulu, but it was enough. He just caught that outside wall. The 41 of Prescott, I believe I said, no, I take that back. I did see a car down there near the inside, maybe on pit road, but the 0 of Dedman out here at the head of the field trying to reel in Blake Mutulu as we approach 5 to go.
Yeah, Dedman's in a good spot right now, man. That 127's running the top of the racetrack, and it leaves that bottom lane open if the 0 car decides to throw a slide job on him. He's got to run on him down the back straightaway. Does he make the move? No, not yet. We're coming down this time by for 6 laps to go. Mutulu doing everything he can to hold off the 0 of Dedman. Dedman wants this win so badly here tonight. He's led a lot of laps this season, a lot of top 5s, but has yet to go to victory lane with this series. He's all over him down the back straightaway.
5 laps remaining this time as they roll through 3 and 4. The 0 at Deadman tries to go to the inside, but the 127 at Mutulu cut it up. Took the line away. The 0 at Deadman now up top. Everyone running right up there along the outside of the racetrack. Evan C., Kendall Tucker, and Bergeron all fighting for the same position in the back of the field as well. Championship implications with this fight, but the race win is the one we need to watch. And the 127 of Blake Mutulu has mostly clear track in front of him, but about a straightaway away is lap traffic. Will they get there? Blake maybe a little bit of loose from the top side of the racetrack that time. 3 laps remaining tonight here at Limaland. Here comes that 0 of Kevin Deadman trying to work the momentum up top, but no door is opening up. The 127 Mutulu, he made a mistake a couple laps ago, but he's looked picture perfect for about the last 5. Popsicle sticks this time as they both run those right side quarter panels right up against the wall. No one wants to drop down off the cushion. No moisture left in that middle groove. White flag this time off of turn 4. Blake Mutulu has the race lead for now. Is the 0 at Deadman gonna send it? He finds the wall through the top side of 1 and 2 into 3 and 4 for the final time. Mutulu will get defensive, and coming off of turn 4, he will win his second race here in 2019.
This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Race fans, you wanted the best? You've got them. Live on DirtVision.com. Presented by Dry D. The World of Outlaws, NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars, the World of Outlaws, Morton Buildings Late Models, Knoxville Raceway, and the Knoxville Nationals, and the Dirt Cars Summer Nationals are all available live. Sprint Car and Late Model Fast Passes are available now for just $39 a month, with single event subscriptions available as well. From Volusia to Charlotte, Fairbury to Lernerville, Eldora to Macon, and everywhere in between. Dirt Vision has you covered all season long. Every race, live, anywhere, anytime. Don't be left in the dust. Sign up for Dirt Vision today.
The time has come after 9 races in the World of Outlaws Morton Buildings Late Model Championship Series, the series that has seen the highest variety of winners of any of the iRacing World Championships. We come to the finale round at the home of the World of Outlaws World Finals here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Be myself, Randy Chineth, Chase Rodman, and Hugo Louis bringing you all the action for this one here tonight. And Chase, there's no other way to put it. 3 drivers are probably taking part tonight in what is going to be one of the most important races of their career.
100% the most important races of their career, especially for Blake Mutulu and Kendall Tucker. Obviously, Bergeron won the Sprint Car Championship, but for Blake Mutulu and Kendall Tucker, this is one of the biggest moments probably of their life. I know we're talking about a video game here, but $10,000, man, you can win that in the lottery, but I mean, it's pretty rare to win it on a video game, and here we are on a simulation, iRacing.com. It's a great thing the guys at World of Outlaws and Morton Buildings and everyone at iRacing has put on here. These guys have an incredible opportunity here to take home some big cash, and not only is this the last track that we go to here for this season, but if they win this championship, this is the place they go to run one of these exact race cars for Clint Boyer Racing for later on in the year.
take a look at the point standings, and it's important to note while Blake Mutulu, Kendall Tucker, and Alex Bergeron, they're the three drivers we're looking at to take this championship home tonight. The 4th and 5th place runners of Evan C. and Kevin Dedman, they do have an outside shot at winning this championship as well. And honestly, I think, Chase, it's not even 100% outside of the realm of possibilities that one of them ends up sneaking away with this championship in the late stages, because the likes of Blake, Kendall, and Alex, as qualifying is happening right now, if they end up in a heat together, they are not going to give an inch. And I don't think it would be a surprise if that happens, if we see one of them having to transfer out of an LCQ and start deep in the main event, if they even make the main event, should that occur.
Yeah, that would be pretty low odds if for Evan C. or Kevin Dedman to get the victory here tonight, but you can never count something out. As we've seen all year long in this series, some crazy things have happened. We've had multiple different winners all year long. We've had multiple different leaders in the point standings all year long. And now, here's one of the guys on the racetrack that we are talking about here tonight. It's the points leader coming into the final race. Blake Mutulu is on the racetrack making his qualifying run, Randy.
I believe he's going to be the first one of our top three in the points to really go out there and do it. And he's going to do it by setting quick time. His first trip around the racetrack, Blake Mutulu goes to a time of 15.383. That puts him at the top of the timing boards for qualifying. He was also the quickest in practice. Second trip around the racetrack, will he improve? No, he will not. He drops off 4/10, so he will not go any quicker on that qualifying attempt. Alex Bergeron also on the racetrack, as well as the 00 Kendall Tucker. Kendall's already on a timed lap as he works off of turn 2 and into 3.
Yeah, Kendall really needs to put down a good lap right here because there is points involved here in qualifying. Mutulu right now, if he's able to finish up there at the top of this pylon there, the top of the scoring pylon that is, he will gain another 6 points in the championship here just after qualifying. So Tucker, first lap, looks like he's about 7th fastest right now. Coming around for lap 2, which has been generally the faster of the 2 laps here. And he's going to go slower actually on lap 2, so that's big time points. And there goes Alex Bergeron on the top of the speed charts.
12 Bergeron goes to a 3.77, and he's going to take top point honors with qualifying if the likes of Zach Leonardi or Howard Weaver do not steal it away here in the closing moments, and they are not. So it's going to be for your top 2 in qualifying. The driver coming 3rd in points into this race takes the pole position, and that's 1 point he has already picked up over Blake Mutulu, who will put himself 2nd in the qualifying session. Stellar qualifying there from Alex there, Chase, striking late.
Yeah, absolutely. He's doing exactly what he needs to do here tonight, Randy. He was 13 coming into the night, and right there he drops it down to 12 points in the championship. He almost has, in my opinion, needs to win this heat race right here, and he's got to hope that Blake Mutulu has some kind of problem in his heat race to gain a little bit more points on him. As we look at the starting lineup, it's going to be Alex Bergeron on the pole, heat race number 1. On the outside, it's the 44 Tyler Schell. Row 2 inside, the 74 Adam Elby, and on the outside of him, the 33 car Evan C. And on the inside of row number 3, it's going to be his teammate, the 0 of Kevin Dedman. And on the outside of him, the 52 car James Edens. And all by himself on the 4th row, starting 7th, it's the 2 car of Dylan Hauser.
So heat race number 1 getting ready to pick up here, and something we have brought in this week due to how tight the championship points are as a live championship tracker following tonight. And you can see the way the points have already changed up. Kendall Tucker through the qualifying session takes a goose egg in the points. 6 go to Alex Bergeron for taking pole, and 5 points head over to Blake Mutulu for that 2nd place qualifying effort as well. And that has already stacked these points up here. We came into this race, we were 15 points separated across these top 3, Chase. Now 12 points separate these top 3 as they head into the heats, and we get ready to push off for heat race number 1.
Yeah, we've also got to pay attention here, Randy. Not only, obviously we're going for 10 grand for the top guy in the point standings, but the top 15 points, those guys will actually be able to maintain their license level to run this series next year. And it's a pretty heated battle in that realm as well. Casey Kerwan right now comes in 15th in the standings, just 2 points ahead of Adam Elby, who's 16th. So whichever one of those guys finishes in the top 15 will get to race in this series next year.
Be a shock to see Adam Elby end up not in this championship, but at the same time, Casey Kerwin has been a driver here on the iRacing Esports Network across multiple of these iRacing World Championships that have put on stellar jobs. saw him earlier this year in this series put in a career best in the World of Outlaws Morton Buildings Late Model Championship Series. Finished, I believe it was third in a main event at Eldora. And then just last Tuesday at Bristol, he picked up his first career win in the eNASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series at Bristol. So been a big head of steam this past summer, really, for Casey Kerwin. So I think even though Adam Elby, maybe the more experienced dirt driver, maybe the one who you maybe say should be the one who picks up that spot, that 14's not going to give an inch as these guys cruise around on their second observation lap. See the iRacing safety truck. It ducks down early here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway in the 12 of Alex Bergeron, a driver who's been so dangerous starting from the pole position, is going to start at the point here for the heat race. We are green for heat race number 1, and Bergeron is clear into 1 and 2 for the first time.
Yeah, Bergeron drops it down to the bottom of the racetrack as the 44 Tyler Shell runs it up on the high side by side for the third spot between the 74 of Elby, the 33 of C. Here comes the 0 of Dedman. You got 3 of your top 5 in the championship standings here in this heat race, and they're 3 wide down the front straightaway for third.
Kevin Dedman and, of course, Evan C. not qualifying that well. They currently run 4th and 5th in this race, and their teammates fighting with one another in the mid-pack, trying to transfer into the main event here tonight. Through 3 and 4 and down the back straightaway. Coming to the end of lap number 2. A little bit of contact there, and it's going to be, I believe, the 52 who takes that transfer spot away as the 044 and Tyler Shell way up the racetrack through 1 and 2. And now Dedman is going to pressure that 74 of Elby for second.
Yeah, James Eden's got a real nice gift right there from the 33 of C and the 44 of Shell. They got together, and he slipped right by on the bottom side of the racetrack to take over the transfer spot. Out front, it's all Alex Bergeron right through the middle of the racetrack, and there goes Dedman to the inside of Elby. Dedman up to second now. So Kevin Dedman, he does not want to take his hat out of the ring here in this championship hunt, but right now with that 12 car leading this heat race, you can almost all but put the nail in the hopes of his championship here as Dedman works as hard as he can trying to get by that 12 car for the race lead.
I don't think this heat race is over and done yet. We were halfway last time by, coming to begin lap number 6 this time through as well, as Bergeron has a couple car lengths over that 0 of Kevin Dedman, but Dedman quicker out there on the racetrack by 1/2 tenth that last time. He is reeling in that 12 car of Alex Bergeron, maybe dropped a little bit of speed this time across this lap, but coming to 2 laps to go, the 0 of Dedman is going to do everything he can to pressure that 12 of Alex Bergeron into being absolutely picture perfect.
And we know how much Kevin Dedman wants to win at this place. It's his home racetrack. He talks about it all the time whenever we interview him. He's played with his Dirty Grass Soul band here at this Charlotte Motor Speedway dirt track. How about the battle for the transfer spot, Randy? We just kind of forgot about it. The white flag's out, and we're side by side for 4th, almost 3 wide for 3rd now. As James Edens works to his inside of his teammate, the 74 of Elby, the 33 of C on the outside, trying to grab the transfer on the final corner. They make contact off turn number 4, and James Edens going to hang on to it.
There's actually drama there as the 33 of Evan C. will not make the main event, and that is one of our championship contenders here. So we'll take a look down at the post-race results for heat race number 1, and it's going to be the 12 of Alex Bergeron taking the victory with the Kevin Dedman. What a run from him. Started that heat in 5th, ran his way up to 2nd. Racetrack very racy at the moment with Adam Elby and James Edens rounding out the top 4. Both of those drivers, well, James Edens, he started outside of the top 4. He had to race his way in as well, the same way Kevin Dedman did. Evan C., Dylan Hauser, and Tyler Shell will be the 7 cars who round out that opening heat race. I'm going to tell you right now, Chase, the Charlotte Motor Speedway is looking good at the moment. Seems like there's a couple different lines, and you don't really have to muscle people to get around them here in just this second.
Yeah, we saw at least 3 groups of racing right there in that heat race. This heat race number 2 is getting gridded up right now. On the pole, it is the championship leader as of now, the 127 of Blake Majulis. And to the outside of him, starting on the 2nd spot, it's the 35 car Nick Cooper. Inside row 2, it's going to be the 14 of Casey Kerwan. And on the outside of him, it's the number 94 of Phil Diaz. Row 3 inside, the 51 car Matt McKinney. And on the outside, it's the 999 of Dylan Fox. And your final starter should be the number 42 car Virgil Graham. 8 more laps and 4 more drivers heading into the feature here, Randy. And the 127 of Majulis, I think he has to, literally, he needs to win this heat race right here.
I completely agree with you, and I'm going to be honest. I think he's drawn one of the greatest heats that we've seen all season for himself. We know that 127 car has been really good at the race in these races. He's not been great in qualifying. Really changed up his form here today, which was great and important for him. And this is, I think, one of the weakest heats we've seen all season for one of these championship contenders. I don't think there's anyone in this heat with the likes of Dylan Fox starting so deep. Same with Virgil Graham and Matt McKinney. I think the 127 goes untouched in this heat race as long as he doesn't find the wall.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't hit the wall or hit an infield tire, I think he's looking pretty good here in heat race number 2. He's got Nick Cooper working to his outside, who's been pretty consistent all season long, but really hasn't been a contender as far as the victories go. As we've talked about earlier, Casey Kirwan with a 3rd place run at Eldora Speedway. He's 15th in points right now. He won a eNASCAR Peak Antifreeze Series last week at Bristol, so he's got a little momentum on his side, but the 127 definitely the favorite here in this second heat race as the pace truck pulls off and they head slowly into turn number 3, but they'll be flying off of turn number 4. 7 cars, 8 laps, 4 more drivers at the feature event. Green flag is out.
Look at the big jump the 127 of Blake Mutulu gets. He gets 4 or 5 car lengths as the 14 and the 35 are going to fight for second through turns number 1 and 2. Casey Kirwan down to the bottom side of the racetrack. Nick Cooper will have the momentum up top, and he'll have second this time into 3 and 4. Look at the 51 of Matt McKinney. He tries to get up underneath the 14 of Casey Kirwan, but he's not going to do it. Casey in that 14 car rolling bottom as we've seen him do all season long. Saw him pick up a heat race win at Lima Land, doing just that. Saw him win his race finish on the podium at Eldora, doing just that. He did the same at Bristol when he won on Tuesday night. So that 14 car doing everything he can to hold off the 51 of McKinney, and the 35 of Cooper is trying to reel in that 127 of Blake Mutulu.
Yeah, the 14 might be right on the bottom, but the 51 car is even lower than he was. Not this time by in 3 and 4, but the 51 car right on those infield tires. And those things, I'm telling you right now, Randy, from personal experience, those things, you touch one of those infield tires, you're either ripping the front end out of the car or you're spinning around quickly, because those tires, they might look small maybe on your screen, but those things are big tractor tires and they'll spin you around in a hurry. As the battle for the 4th spot starts to heat up, the 999 of Dylan Fox starting to track down the Swindell Speed Live Esports number 51 car, Matt McKinney.
Fight for the bubble spot's really picking up here as that 999 car. Where's he going to look this time? Into 3 and 4. They're both going to run the middle, actually, as people really fanning out across the racetrack. We're seeing every lane of racing getting used here in the second heat race. The 127 of Mutulu, he gets into the outside wall entering turn 1. We saw him on the bottom for the first handful of laps of this race. Last couple, he's moved up to the top side. I think just seeing what the top is running like, and he's got a little bit of damage on that race car, but all in all, things looking pretty smooth for this 127. Again, he finds that outside wall. Blake better be careful up the chase. He needs to hold on for another lap and a half.
Yeah, I think we're going to be seeing a lot of that wall tap in action that usually happens here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. So that's not going to be too much of an issue, I don't think, as long as he doesn't kind of throw the front end over and get the front end into the wall. The white flag's out right now. Dylan Fox tries to rip the fence down in turns 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. He's got to run on Matt McKinney for the final transfer spot one more time into turns 3 and 4. Looks like Blake Mutulu will cruise home with an easy Heat Race 2 victory, and Matt McKinney will hang on to the 4th spot as Dylan Fox finds the wall in the front stretch, trying to do everything he can. So Mutulu will get the win. Nick Cooper ends up in the 2nd spot, and in 3rd it was Casey Kirwan, Matt McKinney in 4th, Dylan Fox 5th, Virgil Graham and Phil Diaz will end up in the 7th spot. We've still got 2 more heat races left to run here, Randy, and on the pole of this next one, a great qualifying effort for this guy tonight, the 23 car of Jeremy Caprone, a guy we haven't really talked about all season long. The Team DLR number 23 car on the pole of this 3rd heat race, and on the outside, a guy we need to talk about, the 00 Kendall Tucker came in 2nd in the point standings here tonight. Row number 2 on the inside, the 41 of Shad Prescott. Outside of him, the 9 car of Tyler Ducharme. Row number 3 on the inside is the 37 of Randall Carter. On the outside is the 32 car Steven Wilson. And your final starter should be the 07 of Howard Weaver rounding out this field. And Randy, the 00 Kendall Tucker, as we've seen with the other 2 championship contenders here, they've both won their heat race, and that's kind of setting the bar here for that 00 car.
It really is, and Kendall Tucker starting in 2nd. We've seen those drivers that have started in the 2nd place actually really get pressured into being able to hold on to that. The last heat race was strung out a little bit, but things of, that opening heat was pressure up and down the field. The person who started 2nd, Tyler Schell, ended up being the last finishing car in that opening heat. So just because you're starting out front for the 00 of Kendall Tucker doesn't mean your woes are completely done and away with, especially with the fact that your 2 championship rivals go away and put a heat race win in their back pocket. And of course, not only that important for points chase, you got to think about main event starting position now. You're talking about, if you're Kendall Tucker, if you don't win this, you're going to be rolling off, I believe it'll be about 8th place in the main event, while your 2 championship rivals of Alex Bergeron and Blake Mutulu, they'll have the front row for the feature. So the 00 Kendall Tucker fighting for everything he can to get the inside of that 2nd row for the feature event tonight.
Yeah, 100%. He needs every bit of space that he can get here as far as the main event goes. He doesn't want to have to worry about any of these other guys behind him. He wants to battle it out with the top 3 guys in the points. And how about that, man? That would be something if we ended up starting the main event with your 3 championship contenders in the first 2 rows. It looks like we have a pretty good possibility that happen here, but we still have to wait for this 3rd heat race to go off, and we're about to see what happens here. It's going to be the 23 of Caprone up front alongside Tucker. Then the 41 of Prescott, the 9 of Ducharme. Green flags out. We're racing here in heat race number 3.
23 of Caprone able to get into turn 1. Clean this time. The 00 Kendall Tucker going to try to make the top work, and it's going to not work out. The 41 of Shad Prescott pressures down to the bottom of the 00 Kendall Tucker, but Kendall's not going to make a mistake just yet. But they're going to be wheel to wheel down this front straightaway and in towards 1 and 2. Maybe a little contact from the 41 of Shad Prescott, but the fight for second, one of the most important ones we've seen all night, is Kendall's doing everything he can to just get clear.
And he does get clear. Looks like he will get clear of that 41 car off turn number 4. Now he sets his sights on the 23 of Caprone. If this is a normal guy right now running in the second spot, he'd probably be pretty content right now, or content I should say, running in second. He doesn't really care. He's going to be in the feature event. But Kendall Tucker, he's going to drive his heart out here as the 23 gets tight right there. Here comes the 00 the inside. They bang doors down the front stretch, and Tucker's going to take the lead at turn number 1.
Let's see if he can hold it. The 41 of Shad Prescott trying to get underneath. The 23 of Caprone, one mistake has seen him fall from first to third. Here comes the 41 of Shad Prescott right along the bottom side of the racetrack, wheel to wheel for the race lead in heat race number 3. Cross flags this time. We're halfway in heat race number 3. The 00 of Kendall Tucker has held off the first assault from Shad Prescott as they work in towards 3 and 4. Your top 4 in single file out.
Man, that 00 car looks really tight right now, Randy. I'm on board with him right now, and he's got the wheel cranked really far left, and it's really not helping him as far as the momentum is kept up in the corner right now. And the 41 of Prescott's pressuring him down the back straightaway, coming by this time for 2 laps to go. The 41 car, as we've seen all season long, Shad Prescott, he does not settle for second. He's going to try and grab this heat race victory because he wants to try and win this feature event tonight. As he works the middle, Tucker slides up in the bottom of the racetrack to the middle of the racetrack, and down the back stretch, the 41's got to run on him, come down to the white flag.
They're both running the bottom, but they're both running it a little bit differently. Here comes the 41 of Shad Prescott right up against those infield tires, trying to make a move stick into 1 and 2 for the last time. If the 41 wants this race win, this is going to be his last opportunity. A great run off the top for the 00 Kendall Tucker is going to slam the door on the 41 of Shad Prescott, and Kendall Tucker in the 00 is going to hold on, and we're going to have our top 3 starting in the first 3 rows for the main event here tonight.
You could not write a better story than this right now. This is exactly what we were expecting to see, exactly what we wanted to see here tonight, Randy. Kendall Tucker gets the victory. Shad Prescott second, Jeremy Caprone third, Tyler Ducharme fourth, Howard Weaver, Randall Carter, Steven Wilson. Those final 3 drivers will have to come out of the semi-main event a little bit later on tonight. As heat race number 4 is getting gridded up now, it's going to be Brian Wayand Jr., another guy we haven't really talked about a whole lot this year with a great qualifying effort. He will start on the pole alongside the Limeland winner earlier this year, the 44 car Blake Cannon. Row 2 inside the 98 of Justin Thompson. Outside him, it's the 77 of Blake Brown. Row number 3 on the inside, a winner of multiple heat races this year, the 22 car Brandon Proudfoot. Outside him, it's the 97 of Garrett Robinson. And out back, starting 7th on the inside of the 4th row, it's last year's champion with this series, the 24 of Zach Leon Hardy. And now, Randy, all the championship contenders have already run, and now this one's just kind of up for that 4th place spot. I mean, obviously it's important, but we're not really worried about it as much as we were those other heat races.
Yeah, and I don't think that's unfair to say whatsoever. I mean, all the focus on the championship contenders, and we had 3 of them in the first race, 1 of them in the second, 1 of them in the third. So this 4th race is kind of a nice little breather for us. But of course, these guys still running for very relevant points, potential prizes as well, up and down throughout the field here in the World of Outlaws Morton Buildings iRacing Super Late Model Championship Series. So these guys, they're going to be fighting tooth and nail as well. We take a look at the championship tracker as well. Alex Bergeron, as a result of qualifying the heat races, he's moved into second in the points. Kendall Tucker drops back to third, and it's going to be 12 points separating Blake Mutulu and Alex Bergeron. That's going to give Blake about a 4-position buffer for the main event chase, and that's going to be really, really good for Blake Mutulu to have, knowing that as long as he finishes within a couple spots of Alex, he has $10,000 going into his pocket.
Yeah, that 4-spot insurance is huge, man. He knows, and he's going to know all this information by the time the future rolls around. He's going to be paying attention. His guys on his team are going to be telling him, hey, man, all you got to do is run top 5 in this main event if those guys win, and you are $10,000 richer. But we've still got to go through this heat race. Brian Wayand Jr. and Blake Cannon up front. Here we go. Green flags out, and we're underway with the final heat race of the night.
We're still caught up on the championship. What a qualifying effort from the 88. Brian Wayand Jr. puts himself top 4 in qualifying, and he's going to take this race lead down the back straightaway. Fight on for second between Blake Cannon and Justin Thompson. Rolling the bottom is the 98. Almost a little contact with the 44, inches separating them as they came off of 4. And now the 44 of Blake Cannon, he wants to get his way to the point. Why, 1 point, he was a driver fighting for this championship. He was leading the points as well earlier on, but he's going to slide the 88 car for that race lead. Blake Cannon move him into P1.
Yeah, great move right there by Blake Cannon. He slid right across the nose of the 88 car, Brian Wayant Jr., a textbook slide job, as Wayant kind of ran into the back of him, was not able to get crossy on him down the front straightaway, and Blake Cannon will take the lead now. We've still got 5 laps to go. Wayant Jr. sticking right with him in his back pocket. The battle for the third spot's heating up between the 77 of Brown, the 98 of Thompson, and the 22 of Proudfoot up on the fence trying to get by these guys.
Down the back straightaway, the fight for the bubble spot is what we're watching. The 77 of Blake Brown in third. Justin Thompson has fourth for a moment. At least he did last time around the racetrack, but is that going to change? As they come across start-finish, they swap positions between the 77 and the 98. It's Justin Thompson who draws back into the bubble spot this time, and now it's going to be the 22 of Brandon Proudfoot, that purple and black car.
Oh.
You see near the back end. Oh, the 77 car, you've talked about it, Chase. You do not want to hit one of those tires, and Blake Brown just did it.
My goodness, I don't know how he's even still driving. He's got to maybe have some damage to the front end of that race car. It bounced up off the ground. It's going to cost him a spot. The 22 of Proudfoot works to his outside now. He edged ahead down the backstretch. The 77's head off turn 4, but the 22 of Momentum's got the spot. We've got 2 laps to go, and Proudfoot is making moves on the high side right now.
He tagged the outside wall in towards 1 and 2 that time. How is that going to hurt? That 22 car is not. Is going to take that transfer
your
spot
leader
away from the 70. Oh, drama for Blake Cannon. What has happened to Blake?
He hit the tire, Randy, the second person we've seen in this heat race. He tagged the infield tire. Here's the replay of it. Boom, right there, spins him right around, and nobody gets into him. They keep on going, but Brian Wayant Jr. will come off turn number 4 and win this 4th heat race by virtue of Cannon hitting the infield tire. My goodness, what a change of events there.
And that is what Chase has been talking about all night. Talking about those infield tires, how easy they are to get into. And we just saw 2 people, one of which was in your mid-pack, the other of which had a comfortable lead. And what a 4th heat race for Reignition Esport. They take the top 2 positions through heat race number 4, and they will both transfer for the main event here a little bit later tonight. Blake Brown and Brandon Proudfoot, they will take those last 2 transfers with Garrett Robinson, Blake Cannon, and Zach Leonardi gonna have to do it from the one big LCQ we're having tonight. 12 cars, 4 transfer spots up on offer, and one of our championship contenders is starting on the pole of it. Chase, run us down the starting order.
Yeah, and that guy would be the 33 car Evan C. And on the outside of him, it's a winner earlier this year at the Eldora Speedway, the 999 of Dylan Fox. Row 2 inside is going to be the 07 car of Howard Weaver. And on the outside of Weaver, the 97 car of Garrett Robinson. Row 3 inside, it's the 2, a winner earlier this year as well in this series. That's Dylan Hauser. He starts 5th, and on the outside of him, the 42 car of Virgil Graham. Row number 4, it's the 37 car Randall Card on the inside, and starting 8th, it's the guy we just saw tag that infield tire, the 44 car Blake Cannon, a winner earlier this year at Limaland. Row 5 inside, the 44 Tyler Shell, and on the outside of him, it's the 94 Phil Diaz. And in your 6th and final row, the 32 car Steven Wilson, and on the outside of him, the 24 car of Zach Leon Hardy. 4 more transfers, the final 4 spots in the final race of the season for the World of Outlaws Morton Buildings Late Model Championship Series. Who do you think is going to make it here, Randy?
I think the 33 of Evan C. is not going to give anyone an inch, and he's going to be a shoo-in for the main event. The 999 of Dylan Fox is quick. Also as well, of course, that 44 Blake Cannon, very fast race car, just one mistake dropped him out of it. I think there's a handful of drivers that could realistically make it in, but that 33 of Evan C., he's really the one who's racing for a lot here, because the difference between 4th place points and 5th place points is $500. $1,000 goes to who finishes in 4th. $500 goes to who finishes in 5th in these championship point standings. And remember, he was tied with Kevin Dedman coming into this race. Kevin's going to be ahead of him in points at the moment as a result of the heat. But the 33 of Evan C. has to make this main event if he wants to try to snag that extra $500 out of the grips of his teammate. iRacing safety truck onto the infield. That's going to put Evan C. in command of this field. The 999 of Dylan Fox on his outside. Couple of fantastic and firework drivers stacked up near the mid to back field of this heat. The 999 tries to jump it, fails, and the 33 of Evan C., he's going to have a bit of a breakaway as the 07 of Howard Weaver. He goes to the bottom, 33 of C to the top, and Howard Weaver is nearly going to have that race lead, but look at the run off the top slide for the 33.
Here comes the 999 of Dylan Fox back down to the inside, almost 3 wide. Dylan Hauser's making moves. He started back on row 4. He's already into a transfer spot, the 2 car. On the high side of the speedway, we've seen him make some incredible moves all season long. He's been a feature victor, and he's also gotten suspended for some actions that, we've been talking about all season long. These guys get aggressive, and that 2 car's been, a victim of circumstance a couple times, but here he comes working to the inside of the 07 of Weaver and the 999 of Dylan Fox as the 44 Cannon, after that big mistake in the heat race, he's up to 5th.
Great start of this LCQ for Blake Cannon. That's up 3 spots from where he started. The 999 of Dylan Fox holding on to second. Howard and Hauser, they fight for third and fourth.
Oh.
At the moment, a little bit of a touch. It's going to result in the 999 getting turned, and that stacks up the mid-pack. Huge pile-up down the back straightaway. That's going to take a number of cars out of contention.
Holy cow, that wiped out third from like maybe 8th place right there, and it moves the 94 and the 42 car, Phil Diaz and Virgil Graham into transfer spots. We've really only got 5 cars left in this front pack. The 32 car, Steven Wilson, the one driver on the outside looking in right now, trying to track down the 42 of Graham. He's still got 6 laps to go as they work across the start-finish line.
33 of Evan C. gets given a gift there as he runs out near the head of the field. The 2 of Dylan Hauser, a bit of comfortable running as well. Phil Diaz in third. The first one that's going to be pressured, the 42 of Virgil Graham, tries to set up the bottom, but he still has a handful of car lengths to work with. The 42 and the 32, though, they're going to be the 2 fighting for this last and final transfer spot at this moment. The 32 car of Steven Wilson trying everything he can. The 42 looks a little bit beat up. I think he got piled up in that incident chase, but man, oh man, what drama is there in the final goings?
Yeah, absolutely, man. It looks like all these drivers might have damage from that wreck, with the exception of your race leader, the 33 of C. Last time by, Virgil Graham was about a 10th better than the 32 car, Steven Wilson, so maybe a little bit too much damage for that 32 car Wilson from that incident to track down the 42. That time by, Graham was 2/10 faster, so Virgil Graham just needs to make 3 or make it 4 clean laps here, and he'll find himself in the final main event of the season as he's actually starting to track down the 3rd place car, Phil Diaz.
The fight for third about to pick up, and we just saw drama really affect how this LCQ is running out. Could it in the late goings with just a handful of laps left? I don't think so. I think these drivers in the top 4, with the breathing room they have to work with, they're not going to fight with one another whatsoever. The 42 of Virgil Graham going to slide the bottom, maybe tags the outside wall a little bit, works down to the inside. The 2 of Dylan Hauser's giving you with a car I heard up in the outside wall, but he's still fine and running. White flag this time for the final lap of the final LCQ of the 2019 World of Outlaws Morton Buildings Late Models Championship Series here on iRacing. As the 33 of Evan C. is going to work down the back straightaway and keep himself just in championship contention. He is going to win the LCQ and transfer to the main event. Dylan Hauser will come home in second. He will transfer as well, with Phil Diaz and Virgil Graham rounding out the top 4 that make it to the feature event tonight.
And rounding out the guys behind them from 5th on back, it was Steven Wilson, 1 spot shy. Dylan Fox in the 6th spot. Tyler Schell was 7th. Garrett Robinson 8th. Randall Carter 9th. Blake Cannon, Howard Weaver, those are the 2 guys in that major incident there. And Zach Leon Hardy does not complete a lap there in the main event. So, in the LCQ there. So here we go, Randy. Make it 50 more laps to end this series. It's been a great year. Some of the most exciting racing I have ever seen on iRacing.com. And man, there's been so many different winners, so many different championship leaders, and it all comes down to this.
And typically at this point we would go to an ad break, but because of the situation with $10,000 on the line, the chance to drive a real super late model here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway here, we're going to stay live with you and talk about this point situation. Let's bring up our championship tracker with the top 3 and just talk about the points format here going into this main event and why each driver needs to run where they need to run and what the advantages and needs are. So the way this championship works in points, 70 points will go to the race winner, 67 to second, 64 to third, 61 to fourth, 58 to fifth. There's basically 3-point gaps all the way down until you get down to about 10th place. Then it starts transferring into 2-point gaps. Then when you get well down, well, actually all the way through the top 20, it stays at 2-point gaps. So the math quickly in my head, when you take a look, getting ready to go in the main event, 12 points is what Blake Mutulu has. That, I believe, is 4 exact spots. I think that's 4 spots exactly that Blake Mutulu, no, 5 points, I believe, Blake Mutulu will have to work with over the number 12 of Alex Bergeron. So Blake Mutulu on the pole, or excuse me, outside pole, is going to be in a great situation to chase.
Yeah, he definitely is, but I mean, I'm just curious to see how the rest of the drivers run against these 3 guys. Obviously, they all know the circumstances, what's going on right now, but I don't think they really care. I think they want to try and win one of these races. We got to remind everybody here that it's $300 to win one of these races, $200 for second and $100 for third. So I think guys like Brian Wayne Jr., Kevin Dedman, who's been so close to a victory this season, he's going to be racing as hard as he can. He's going to try, obviously, not to run into these guys, but he wants to win these races, and he might kind of affect this championship battle here.
taking a look at the points, we actually have a potential for a tie. So if we bring that championship graphic back up, these are not live points. This is a projection of something that could happen. If Blake Mutulu were to finish 5th in this feature race tonight and Alex Bergeron wins, we would have a tie situation on our hands. Alex Bergeron would win the championship by virtue of feature event wins, with him potentially picking up his 3rd one tonight. That same point situation could happen in other ways as well later on. Potentially if they finish 1 or 2 spots lower, but in the same, gap the same amount of points. There could be some tiebreaker things at play here, Chase, which are going to be really difficult to potentially sort out if one of these guys don't win this race.
Yeah, absolutely. And the weird thing is if Alex Bergeron runs 2nd and let's say Blake Mutulu runs 7th, I think that's what the championship odds were there. What's the next tiebreaker? They both have 2 victories in the series. I just don't even know what in the rule book. I'm sure there is a little spot in there for that kind of thing, but I don't even know what the next tiebreaker would be. Most 2nd place finishes, I'd have to guess. I'm not really sure, Randy.
Traditionally, I believe it has gone to 2nd place finishes. We had an incident similar to this in the 2016 Blancpain GT World Championship. That championship was nearly decided by a tiebreaker, and that would, if it would have tied, we would have gone to 3rd place finishes to decide that championship. So things are going to be really, really tight here. So, Chase, there's so much on the line here. And as these guys start taking the grid, let's pick up the music, let's pick up the hype, and let's go down your starting grid for the final feature race of the 2019 World of Outlaws Morton Building Super Late Model Championship Series. On the pole, it's going to be the 12 of Alex Bergeron fighting to win his 2nd championship this year. The first driver in iRacing championship history to do it if he is successful. And on his outside, it is the points leader, the 127 of Blake Mutulu. We know he needs to finish strong and to pretty much put this thing in the top 5, but there are potential tiebreaker situations at play. 3rd place in the points, the 00 of Kendall Tucker. He will roll off in 3rd with the 88 of Brian Wayant Jr. on the outside of him in row number 2. Kevin Dedman and Nick Cooper on row number 3 with Shad Prescott and Justin Thompson on row 4. Adam Elby and Casey Kerwin on row 5. Jeremy Caprone and Blake Brown make up row 6. James Edens and Matt McKinney make up row 7. Tyler Ducharme and Brandon Proudfoot on row number 8. Evan C. and Dylan Hauser on row 9 with Phil Diaz and Virgil Graham rounding out the 20-car field. The top 3 drivers starting in this main event will be fighting for $10,000. The opportunity to wheel a Clint Boyer Super Late Model here at the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway, but everyone up and down this field are fighting for prizes. They are fighting for rights to wheel in this championship going in towards 2020. So for the final time, the iRacing safety truck heads on towards pit road, and the 12 of Alex Bergeron will be in command of the field, and we are on it. Put the last 50 laps on the board. We are green at Charlotte, and Alex Bergeron has a 2-car length lead. The 127 of Mutulu goes to the bottom, and the 00 Kendall Tucker already nearly fighting 3 wide. The fight is on for the lead. Blake Mutulu wants it early.
Wow, they get into each other. I'm surprised they're getting after it this early. The 127, I thought he might take it easy here at the beginning of the race, but he wants to win this thing. He not only wants to win this championship, he wants to do it on a high note, but here comes his teammate and the 0 car. Kevin Dedman's not wasting any time at the front of the field.
And Kevin Dedman is not going to give these guys an inch. He's been so close the last 3 races to picking up main event wins, and he's been just short. The 127 Mutulu to the bottom, the 00 Kendall Tucker in the middle, and Bergeron runs the top 3 different lines from your drivers fighting for this championship, and the 0 at Dedman still pressuring on that bottom groove. The 127 has the lead, but not by very much. In towards 1 and 2, working lap number 5, and it's going to be 3 wide for the race lead.
Wow, the 127 went to the top of the racetrack. It almost cost him big time right now. Now he's going back to the bottom. Contact between him and Tucker. They hang on to it. Oh, my goodness. That could have been an absolute disaster right there. But the 127 hangs on, and Dedman now takes over 2nd. He looks back to the inside of Mutulu for the race lead off turn number 2 down the back straightaway.
We had a car around in the background, but we're going to stay green. It was a very quick, momentary incident. As 127 of Mutulu, maybe a little mistake on the bottom. No, he take that back. Just running the slider line. The fight's still on for 2nd between Dedman and Kendall Tucker, the 0 and the 00. 00 takes the spot that time for P2. Now Alex Bergeron trying to get into the mix as well. The 00 slams the wall, entering turn 3, but he's going to be able to hold on as Blake Mutulu is still not able to break away. And here comes his teammate. They make contact.
Yeah, contact puts the 0-0 on the outside wall. Throw a blanket over your top 6 drivers right now as they work down the backstretch of the dirt track at Charlotte. The 127 back to the inside. We really hope he doesn't hit one of those infield tires like he saw his teammate do. Oh, the 0 of Deadman sideways. He hangs on to it, almost spun around right there on the front straightaway. My goodness, this is unbelievable stuff at the front of the field right now. They're 2 by 2 from 2nd through about the 5th or 6th spot right now.
The 41 of Chad Prescott works the bottom as well. The 12 of Bergeron has been stuck to that top groove of the racetrack, and he's making it work. The 0-0 Kendall Tucker, he moves to the top side of the racetrack. He was running the bottom the last handful of laps, got that little touch with the 0, and he's moved up top. The 127 of Mutulu, he's going to try the top side as Kendall rolls the middle, this time through 3 and 4. And down the front straightaway, your top 3 almost nearly single filed out in the points. In those top 3 positions, the 0 of Deadman fighting wheel to wheel with the 12 of Bergeron.
I think these guys are really confused right now, Randy. They really don't know what the line is to run. They're trying everything they can. They're running down low, they're running up high, they're kind of sliding themselves, they're running the cushion, turning it off the cushion, and diving off the exit. Now these guys, Bergeron in particular, kind of running right up on the wall around the entire corner. These guys really haven't figured out what the best line is right now, and it's kind of throwing them for the loop. Here comes the 0-0 Tucker right back up to the back bumper of the 127. We're only working on lap number 12. There's still a lot of laps to go in this one.
A lot of laps to go for sure, and that 12 and the 0-0 have really dialed back the aggression. You know they're not leaving much on the table, but they're not fighting with each other so hard like we saw in the first 5 laps. The 12 of Bergeron slides a little bit up high coming off of turn 4, so he's going to drop back maybe just a little bit. The 127 of Mutulu rolls the bottom. I thought the 0-0 Kendall Tucker might get a run, but the diamond line coming off the corner so strong for the 127 as your top 3 again all run different lanes.
Yep, they're nose to tail down the front straightaway. Now the 127 runs the middle. The 0 car up to the top of the racetrack. He gets the wall right there. Now Bergeron gets into the back of him. Hangs on to it. That's going to allow the 127 to pull away big time down the backstretch. He's on a 4-car length lead now after the contact between Kendall Tucker and Alex Bergeron. And now you can bring the 0 car of Deadman and the 41 of Prescott back into the fight.
127 Mutulu, he tries the top, but he doesn't really like it. Immediately diamonds off and gets back down to the bottom. So the 127 car not feeling comfortable up top, and someone who does feel comfortable up there. The 12 of Bergeron, he just got stacked up behind the 0-0, but he immediately slings it back up to the cushion. Top 3 separate again, and the 127's right up against the wall. The 12 of Bergeron tries to slide them both, but can't get it done.
I thought the 12 of Bergeron was going for a 2 for the price of 1 right there down in the turns 1 and 2, thought better of it, and both those guys got back by him. But we know the 12 car, he's feisty, and we might see a move come out of him once again as these guys all run the top of the racetrack in 1 and 2. It looks like 3 and 4. It's a buffet down there as far as different lines you could run. You can run the bottom, you can run the middle, you can run the top, as you're seeing right here as they all fan out to different lanes in turns 3 and 4. But watch down here, everyone up on the concrete here at the Charlotte dirt track. Who's going to make the move first for a slider down in the corner to take the race lead away? Will it be the 12 of Bergeron, or will it be the 0-0 Tucker?
We'll have to wait and see as they run. I believe Alex Bergeron will be scored in the 2nd place in points. Slider line from the 12 car. He wants the bottom. Here he goes. Can he get ahead of the 0-0? No, can't quite do it just yet. The top line so strong at the moment, and it seems like that middle and bottom, at least that ultra bottom lane chase, has really gone away. The middle still seems like a good place to play, but the 12 of Bergeron not able to make the slider line work as we're about 5 laps out from halfway.
Yeah, the middle of the track really isn't bad on both ends of the speedway. It's from the guys running at the back of the pack that are running the bottom. They're kind of throwing that loose dirt up into the middle of the racetrack and kind of creating some grip right there, allowing your leaders to kind of run right through there and keep up their speed. So those guys at the back or at the front are kind of hoping the guys at the back kind of keep running the bottom and throw that grip up into the middle of the racetrack. As you'll see right here in 3 and 4, the 127 and the 0-0 both run the middle right there as the 12 car continues to work the outside of the racetrack. 22 down. It looks like here comes the 12 again, trying to make a move for the 2nd spot, but it's not going to be clear this time.
Oh, but he's going to get a good run, and he's going to nearly stay side by side down the back straightaway. That's one of the best attempts he's had yet. He didn't get clear, but he's able to at least keep a good run up. Look at the 0, Kevin Deadman. And the graphic he's made up on these guys. Kevin Deadman in the 0. Fastest car on the racetrack right now. Only a thousandth of a second quicker than the 127 of Mutulu last time, but he is finding time hand over fist over 2nd and 3rd. Slider line from Deadman in towards 3 and 4, and he's going to reel in another car length on your top 3.
I said it earlier, but you couldn't write a better story than this. 4 of your top 5 in the championship standings running nose to tail down the back straightaway at the Charlotte Motor Speedway dirt track. The 127 back to the bottom. The 00 through the middle. The 12 on the top side of the racetrack. The guys at iRacing.com prepped a perfect track here for the championship round of the World of Outlaws Morton Buildings Late Model Championship. As the 12 of Bergeron tags the wall in turn 1, doesn't hurt him too bad. They work down the backstretch once again. The 0 of Deadman right now, right there in that 4 spot, trying everything he can to track these guys down and maybe play a spoiler in this championship.
As they run, he doesn't have any hope with the 12 of Alex Bergeron. Gets into the outside wall. The 0 of Deadman has no hope at the moment of potentially winning this championship, as we are halfway, 25 laps down, all under green, 25 to go. And the 12 of Bergeron makes an uncharacteristic mistake running the top. He's into the outside wall again through corners number 1 and 2. That cushion line chase is getting really, really narrow. And I think we're about 15 laps away from these guys migrating back down to the bottom with the way they're running, especially through 1 and 2.
Yeah, 1 and 2 definitely is getting pretty treacherous up there. If we see something like Bergeron did right there with the 127 of Mutulu, the 00 of Tucker's got to be all over him. There might be some contact from that little checkup from the 127 getting into the wall. I'm just really waiting on the 00 to make the move to the inside. I mean, really at this point, if he does pass him, he's got to hope the 127 makes a huge mistake and falls back even more positions as far as the championship's concerned. But I'm sure that 00, remember, Randy, he has not won a race all season long, and I think he'd like to cap it off if he doesn't win the championship with at least a victory here.
I think you're absolutely right about that, as we have the point standings at the moment as they run. If we can bring them up, how the championship would form out. As they run in this order, they would finish in championship order in the same way. Blake Mutulu would take home that $10,000 prize. Kendall Tucker would be second in the points. Alex Bergeron would be third in the points by a single one for the second and third year chase. Even though there's $10,000 at the line and that's what everyone's running for, if you don't at least win it, you want to at least finish second. That's $4,000 versus $2,000 heading your way, and the 12 of Bergeron should be knowing that and is likely going to be probably pushing as hard as he can. As we get a yellow, we're going to reset the field.
Yeah, that's exactly what the 12 of Bergeron and the 00 of Tucker needed right there to try and, catch their breath here and maybe, take a look at what their race car is doing, talk to their spotter and see what they think they need to be doing, maybe make some adjustments. As the 9 car of Tyler Ducharme, you see him right there, clips the infield tire, and he'll go around. So that's what the caution was out there for, Randy.
Just one solo car mistake there. That 9 car will still be out there and running. He will go down to the tail end of the field. But regardless, he's going to keep that thing out there on the racetrack. And look at how beat up these cars are getting chased, running that top line, everyone running up against the wall through the later stages of that run. And the right rear quarter panels on all these race cars looking pretty worse for wear at the moment.
Yeah, and with this new iRacing damage model they got planned coming up here next year, it's going to be pretty realistic as far as the damage to these race cars, as far as hitting the wall. We see a lot of times in real life with the late models and modifieds and stuff like that, they'll end up ripping those quarter panels right out the race car. And when that new damage model comes out, which I'm pretty excited about, we might be seeing a little bit of that here in this series.
Inside of the final 20 laps to go, inside the World of Outlaws Morton Building Super Late Model Championship Series. And well, it was drama for the first handful of laps for your top 3. They did not give each other an inch, no breathing room whatsoever. They each made contact with one another. Alex got into Blake, Kendall got into Blake, and those are teammates fighting for a championship, remember? And those teammates are going to start wheel to wheel on this restart, coming to 15 laps to go. So the 0 of Kevin Denman up top on that second row. Remember, the top groove is where you wanted to be on that last green flag run. So keep an eye not only on the 0 of Kevin Denman on the second row, but on the 00 of Kendall Tucker. If he can time this restart, he might be a shoe-in to pick this championship up. In towards 3 and 4. iRacing safety truck to the infield. Blake Mutulu is going to pick up the throttle. Can Kendall Tucker get the run? Answer is going to be no. The 127 can get up to the top. The 12 of Bergeron, though, he's isolated down to the bottom, and he is just going to hold on to third by sliding in front of Denman. But here comes that 41 of Chad Prescott.
Wow, the 12 car. He just threaded the kneel right there in turns 1 and 2, sliding up in front of Deadman and right behind the 00 of Tucker to maintain the third spot. Here comes the 41 of Shad Prescott, trying to work to the inside of Deadman. He's looking for a career best run here tonight at the Charlotte Motor Speedway dirt track. He noses ahead of the 0 car, down into turn number 3 and 4 for that 4 spot. The 41 of Prescott came to play tonight, Randy.
He definitely did. We saw him be relevant in his heat race. Just couldn't quite make any moves happen to get up the start up at the very, very head of the field. But he's fighting with the zero of Kevin Dedmon right now. Down the front straightaway, nearly making contact in towards this corner. Excuse me, I believe that was 3 down on the back straightaway. As the 12 of Bergeron trying to reel in the 00 and the 127. Chad Prescott, slider line to the bottom once again, but everyone has moved up to the top side of the racetrack, except for the most part, this 41 and the 88 behind him. Through 3 and 4 this time, but look at the bottom lines starting to somewhat form up through 3 and 4 chase. A couple of those guys starting to migrate down in towards the middle where that slick is. 10 to go next time at the stripe.
And my real question is right now, Randy, we saw last week at Limaland when Kevin Dedmon was running second to Blake Majulis, he was really mad at himself in the post-race interview that he didn't make the move to the inside for the race lead until the last lap, and it cost him big time because the 127 blocked the move. Are we going to see something similar to that right here with the 00 of Tucker, or is he going to try and make the move earlier? Because I think that would really benefit him. Maybe get into a battle with the 127, maybe get Bergeron into the mix, and maybe shuffle that 127 back in the field a little bit possibly. I know they're teammates, but when 10,000's on the line, I think all that's out the window.
Especially in these final 10 laps. We have one car that pulls down onto the infield. It's the 33 of Evan C. So your driver, 5th in the points, is going to call it quits. He will come home in that 5th spot, and it's going to be Kevin Dedmon who locks up 4th because of that. Through the 1 and 2 this time, the 12 of Bergeron all over the back of Kendall Tucker, but he's not going to get there just yet. Through 3 and 4, a couple drivers run the middle in this top 3. The 12 of Bergeron finds the outside wall again through 3 and 4 off the cushion.
Yeah, my goodness, things are starting to heat up at the front of the field. The 00 looks like he's actually figured something out. He's within a car length down the back straightaway. The 127 continues to slide himself down into the corner. The 00 runs a little bit higher, but the same kind of line. He's right there with him down the front straightaway. Does he make the move in 1 and 2? No. Follows him on the cushion into turns 1 and 2. Bergeron's right there. You couldn't even fit one car length between all those guys right now. This is incredible stuff with just under almost 5 laps to go.
5 to go this time. Off of turn number 4, the 00 of Kendall Tucker is there on the back of his teammate. They need to make a mistake. They need to force that 127, into a mistake. If either of these two running second or third want to win this championship, but the 127 of Blake Mutulu is just looking so strong at the race lead. 4 to go this time.
Majulis, man, he's doing everything he can right now. He's probably looking in his rear view mirror more than he is out front right now, waiting for the move from the 00 so he can try and tap the brake and turn it back down to the inside as Bergeron finds the wall right there. And that will all but eliminate the 12 car from this race lead. He loses about 5 car lengths off turn number 4. Down the front stretch they go. Next time by 3 laps to go for the 2019 World of Outlaws Morton Buildings Late Model Championship Series here on iRacing.com. Does the 00 make a move, Randy?
12 has dropped back about 2 or 3 car lengths. This may open up a window for the 00 to work with. Off of 3 and 4, coming to 2 laps remaining here tonight at Charlotte. Top side is where they all go. Through the corners number 1 and 2, the 00 Kendall Tucker is going to get into the wall, and he's going to get brought back into the 12 of Alex Bergeron. This is the fight for second in the race, for second in the championship. They'll see the white flag at the iRacing starter stand. Kendall Tucker will hold on to P2, this time in towards 1 and 2. The 127 Matulis, he's going to roll the bottom line through 1 and 2 in towards 3 and 4 for the final time. And the driver of the number 127 Swindell Speed Labs esports car, Blake Matulis, has won $10,000 and the World of Outlaws Morton Building Super Late Model Championship Series here on iRacing.
And he does it with a statement right there, Randy, winning this race, leading all 50 laps here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway dirt track. Blake Majulis, we saw how excited he was to win his first race earlier this year. He came in here and was screaming at the top of his lungs, I can't even begin to believe what he's going to do when he comes in here for this next interview. He wins the race. He wins $10,000, and he's going to get a chance to drive a Clint Boyer Racing Super Late Model right here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway dirt track. What an opportunity for that 127 car.
What a brilliant season from the 127 of Blake Matulis. He was so entertaining to watch all season long. So many races. We saw him through the first half of the season have adversity in the qualifying, be stuck deep in the starting order for the feature events, and work his way up through the fields into podium positions, into top 5 positions, and later on in the year eventually start picking up wins, and he will be the only driver with 3 wins on the championship, leaving here tonight out of Charlotte Motor Speedway. The 127 of Blake Matulis is going to burn him down, not only for a big race win here tonight, but a huge championship victory for himself, and the first championship for Swindell Speed Labs Esports on the iRacing Esports Network as well.
That's pretty incredible stuff right there. I mean, a team like Swindell Speed Lab Esports that's only been around for one season. I mean, they ran the sprint car stuff, but, you know, that's only one season of that, and then they come over here to the late models with a 5-car team, and they win the championship. Not only that, they run second in the championship as well, and they get a couple drivers locked into the series next year. What a season. What a team that Kevin Swindell and the guys over there at Swindell Speed Lab have put together, along with some of the sponsors on the side of that race car, Bell Helmets, Weiser Organics, and some other ones. I mean, it's just been an incredible season for those guys all around.
I'm not going to tell you how he's managing it, but Blake Mutulu is doing Polish victory laps at speed out there in that number 127. As he does that, let's take a look at your final race results from the 10th round of the World of Outlaws Morton Buildings Super Late Model iRacing Championship Series. And right there, the driver of Blake Mutulu comes out and wins this race and the championship here tonight. Second place, the 00 of Kendall Tucker. He not only takes second place honors tonight, but there's $2,000 for him, or excuse me, $4,000 for him right there, finishing second tonight. And Alex Bergeron comes home in third, which is $2,000 heading his way. The top three in the points finish 1, 2, 3 in that order here tonight. Chad Prescott will round out your top four. Kevin Dedman finishes fifth tonight. He will wrap up that fourth position in the points due to his teammate dropping out a little earlier in the race. Nick Cooper in sixth, Dylan Hauser seventh, Adam Elby in eighth, with Matt McKinney and Jeremy Caprone rounding out your top 10. We'll take a look at those final 10 cars as well from the main event. The 11th spot is going to be Casey Kerwin, Brandon Proudfoot in 12th. Virgil Graham comes from the last row up into 13th. Justin Thompson 14th. Phil Diaz in 15th. Blake Brown in 16th. Tyler Ducharme 17th, with James Eden, Brian Wayant Jr., and Evan C. rounding out the 20-car field here tonight. We got him. Let's get to it. The driver of the number 127, Blake Mutulu, is in attendance for his post-race interview. Blake, you are the 2019 World of Outlaws Morton Buildings Super Late Model iRacing Championship Series champion. How did it feel?
Unbelievable, baby. Unbelievable. Champion. Won the race, did it all. Champion. There you go, right there.
Man, I honestly did not expect this. I mean, not saying that I didn't expect you to win the championship, but I didn't expect you to be as aggressive as you were right there at the beginning of the race. I was kind of talking to Randy a little bit. I thought that maybe, you know, you'd run around the top 5 and just kind of solidify yourself and just know that you had that little buffer in the point standings. But you went out there and you showed these guys that you're not messing around, man. You weren't going to play it easy. You went out there and won the race. I don't even know what to ask you. What are you going to do with this $10,000?
I don't even know. I'm in shock right now. I've waited all week for this race. I just wanted it over, and I can't believe it. It's just awesome. I don't even know. I can't tell you what I'm going to do with it.
Blake, what was the pressure like through that entire 50-lap main event? Because you didn't start on the pole position. Alex Bergeron got there. It was a little bit of contact to get yourself in the race lead, but guess what? That's late model racing. You got it there. Alex shuffled to third, and then your teammate Kendall Tucker gave you a bit of a shot in towards 3 and 4 in those opening handful of laps as well before you guys eventually single filed out. What's the pressure like knowing that if there's any little mistake with those two running second and third behind you, that if you end up having an incident and maybe spin, end up down on the inside, if you clip a tire, one of those tires on the inside wall, which we saw, the inside of berm, where we've seen a couple of drivers make that mistake. What's that pressure like knowing that you cannot make any little mistake, otherwise it basically kills the dream of the championship?
Well, Randy, I've sat here all week and thought about every scenario possible. I mean, it was tough all week. I haven't been able to sleep. It's great to get it off my back, and I mean, I knew before when I qualified second there I was going to be right up there. I'm a good racer. I'm not a qualifier or hot lapper, and I knew I was going to be good, and I wasn't going to take nothing. You know what I mean? Right off turn 2, I knew I had to do it, and it won me the race. So, I mean, knowing that those guys were right behind me, and if one mistake lost me the championship, the pressure was, I don't even know what to say. I had butterflies all week just thinking about it, but it just feels surreal. I don't have any words right now. It's just crazy.
I got one more question real quick.
Go for it. I got more too. He won the championship. We'll ask him a few.
$10,000. You got a car owner named Kevin Swindell. What's the split on that? 50-50 or what? How's that work?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Yeah,
I think the split on that is a Chili Bowl ride. That's what I
would yeah, Chili Bowl ride would be nice. Yep.
Kendall, of course, not only money on the line in this championship, you're going to get the opportunity to head out to the championship banquet for the World of Outlaws. You're going to get presented the trophy there at at their banquet at the end of the year. And of course, as well, I believe if I recall, it's on Halloween, you're going to get the chance to run a Clint Boyer super late model around this very track as well. How's that feel? I mean, that's in and of itself is a one-in-a-lifetime opportunity, on top of the fact that you've won this championship and all this prize money between race purse winnings and this championship money, getting the opportunity to go out there and drive a real race car, even not in competition, just getting the opportunity to even do it and to be presented to be honored there at the banquet like that. That's going to be a potentially life-changing and once-in-a-lifetime experience as well.
Yeah, the banquet's going to be crazy. I mean, I'm looking forward to that probably the most. The banquet will be awesome. To be in front of all those guys, it'll be a pleasure. And Clint Boyer, he's a hell of a guy. Excited to meet him. It's going to be awesome. It's awesome to be here right now.
Well, Chase, do you have anything else?
No, this is wild, man. This is cool.
Well, on that note, Blake, we're going to let you go and let you start wondering about what you're doing with your money. I'll tell you, you said you were having trouble sleeping. $10,000, you can get yourself a pretty kick-ass bed. I can tell you that, to be really, really comfortable in there. So for Blake Mutulu, championship winner, driver, the number 127, Blake, who do you have to thank for this tonight?
Oh, man, I got a long list. Kevin Swindell, number 1, for bringing me on and allowing me to race for him under his name and everything he's done for me. Just all my teammates at Swindell Speed Lab. Everybody go check out Swindell Speed Lab online. They have the nicest apparel I've ever worn. It's great. Just great quality clothing brand. Just everybody at Swindell Speed Lab. I can't thank those guys enough. They're amazing in every which way. iRacing, iFlag, Jeff Brown, man. You guys go check out his products. He sent me a few. I've used them all, and they're just nothing but amazing. Nothing but help me find speed. So everybody go check out iRacing, iFlag, Jeff Brown. He'll help you with anything you need. Bell Helmets, Wiser Organics, Design 75, Jeremy Ray, man. He puts me in the best looking cars there is. I can't thank him enough. He's awesome. iRacing, World of Outlaws, you guys for broadcasting, of course. Thank you guys so much for all you do, for not just me, but for everybody in the series. All my friends, all my buddies that watch, Chad, Stephanie, Todd, Mac, Base, Bodie, just everybody that watched, LaShare, my girlfriend Tia for everything she did. She washes and she helped me test all week. She means the world to me. I can't thank enough for all she does, and looking forward to experiencing this trip to North Carolina with everybody that helped me win this championship. I can't thank them enough. Everybody that watched, my dad, my grandpa, everybody, can't thank them enough. So thank you all.
If you can't tell, his voice is shaky, ladies and gentlemen, and I think for good reason. We're going to let him go.
Yep.
Blake, congratulations from all of us once again, and don't let all that money go wasted in one place. And if you do, make sure it's something awesome.
Yeah, one more thing. Shout out to Blake Neer for spotting me throughout the season. I can't thank him enough for everything he did, and Kendall Tucker for taking his time to test all these 10 weeks with me, especially just me. I can't thank him enough. We worked really hard together, and we're a dynamic duo for sure. So thank everyone. Thank you very much.
Well, we're going to talk to the second party of that duo right now, the driver who comes home second tonight. And Kendall, I know you're probably feeling in some regards the way these last couple weeks have gone, and especially what happened at the 9th race of the championship at Limaland, that one may have slipped through your fingers. But I can tell you, we do have confirmation that you have taken home second in this championship over Alex Bergeron, who slips down to third, win the points. You know, how are you feeling at the moment, knowing that you at least locked up that second spot and you get both Swindell Speed Labs esports cars, the two that have been best all season, 1 and 2 in the championship?
Just don't really just know where to start, man. I mean, that was you didn't like that right there, that entire 10 race season. I really don't know what to tell you. I mean, just 3 guys right there neck and neck, and to basically be 1, 2, 3 the entire night. And I'm gonna tell you, none of us gave each other an inch. I wasn't giving Mutulu an inch, and sure wasn't going to give Bergeron an inch right there. But the track just got single file right there. Just top 1 and 2, and then just slider 3 and 4. And me and Mutulu, we were just pretty close on the same identical set. So I knew it was going to be tough. I was just really hoping and praying that the track would just somehow, for a miracle, just switch up and the bottom would come back in. But I was really just had the math in my head. I knew I had to, just basically just beat Bergeron to get this extra $4,000. And if I couldn't have got that $10,000, there's nobody else I'd rather have it but Blake Mutulu. I can't even think how many hours and how many laps we've put in this since the qualifier series started, and I feel like I won the championship too. Just with him winning it and stuff. So it's a really cool deal, and just all the guys at Speed Lab. Kevin took a leap. Letting us race under his name and stuff. So can't thank him enough, and I think we did pretty well.
How tricky was it right there, running behind a guy that sounds like is a really good friend of yours, a teammate? But I was talking during the broadcast. I mean, I would have thought that maybe that kind of went all out the window. But, if you think about it, you guys maybe start getting into it with each other and run into each other or something. Then you kind of, you lose the championship to Alex or something like that happens. What was going through your head there? I thought we might have seen a move come out of you there towards the end, and we didn't really ever see it happen. What was the mindset there? Was it kind of beat Alex and get that extra $4,000, or was the track just too risky to maybe make a move like that and cause some kind of accident there?
I really was just, I knew Mutulu, something was really going to have to happen. I mean, going to the race, I think I was like 14 or 15 points back. So, I mean, something was really going to have to happen for me to even have a shot at this championship, and to keep the 12 car behind me. I knew I was going to have to do that. But, it's just a story of my sim career so far, just sacking a lot. So, just that consistency and just being able to be in contention for this deal right here. I'm going to tell you, there was a lot of sleepless nights, and it's been a long day today. I honestly have not ate a single thing today. All my family back home, they're probably going to flip out when they hear that. So, but, hopefully I can get a bite to eat now that this is all over. Honestly, just glad it's over, and glad we was able to pretty much come here and do what we need to do and just take care of business.
Well, Kendall, we're going to let you go get something to eat before you maybe end up passing out on us here on the broadcast. We're not going to want that. But thank you once again for joining us. Thank you for putting on such a great show here tonight. And congratulations to finishing second in this championship. You're so fun to watch. Such a story watching that 00 work and be so consistent. But before we let you go, who gets it done for all involved with that 00 Swindell Speed Labs esports car?
Yeah, just all the guys that over at Speed Lab, Kevin, like Blake said, go check out some apparel. Just all the guys at World of Outlaws and iRacing for really putting this deal on. Like I said earlier, I really don't know what more else you could ask for. Just the top three right there all night, and we raced each other all clean and as hard as we could with what the track gave us. So right there, I'm already looking forward to next year, but I'm glad we'll have a little break right here. Just like I said, just got to thank all my sponsors and partners, Jeff Brown with iRacing iFlag, and Jim Emery with Superman Graphics, CBD Weiser Organics, Bell Helmets, and all the guys at iRacing and World of Outlaws. Randy and Rod, it's been a pleasure running this series and hopefully putting on a show for you guys, and really looking forward to doing it again next year. And just got to thank all my family and friends back home watching. It's been a fun season. I feel like we learned a lot, and I don't think a lot of people really thought we'd be in this position at the beginning of the season. So just to come home second right here, and after the bad luck we had the last 2 weeks, just a lot of stuff just didn't go my way, and maybe it just wasn't meant to be this year. But we'll come back next season, and we'll try and finish one spot better.
So there he is, a 00 of Kendall Tucker will wrap up his season second place in the points, and look forward to 2020 to be able to make that one better and especially pick up a win next year. What a run of consistency for that 00 to run as strong as he did all year, come home second in the points against drivers who won 2 races, 3 races, and of course everyone else who picked up a single one. Let's move on to the driver who finished third here tonight. The 12 of Alex Bergeron came into this race tonight with the opportunity to be the first driver in iRacing esports history to pick up 2 world championships in the same year. Alex, you just missed out, not by much on that. You cycled down to third in the points as well. What was the mindset for you coming into this race? We know you won the sprint car championship, but this, of course, very, very different circumstances. The pressure was all over for the 3 of you. We've talked to Blake and Kendall already. How are you handling the pressure coming into Charlotte tonight?
Very good. I mean, we had a good qualifying run, qualifying the pole. Blake qualified second, so we had the chance to start first in the first heat race, and we won that. And then we did our best in the feature to stay up front, but it just all came down turn 3 there. I just got ran over a little bit, but that's how it is. But then after that, just trying to keep it on and trying to do my best, follow these guys. But it was very hard to just pass these guys. Pretty much single lane, and all season long we had a couple bad lucks, and I think that's what put us behind. And
you know, we did our best. I think we came off 1 spot short, 1 point short of second place in the points, I think. And, you know, it all came down to this race, and, you know, we did our best, and that's a big deal.
Yeah, man. I mean, I honestly, coming into the series, I really didn't think that you would be a factor. I thought you were more of a sprint car guy. And speaking of that, I mean, I got you on Facebook, and it was pretty cool to see. I'm not sure if that 10 grand from the Sprint Car Championship led to this, but it seems like, I don't know all the details or not, but it seems like you possibly, you know, got your own sprint car in real life, and you're running some laps this week. Did that maybe take away a little bit of testing time here from Charlotte, or was that kind of just a little extra icing on the cake there?
Absolutely not. I mean, it was just this weekend, and we worked all week on the sprint car. But yeah, absolutely, we got our own car for Team ABR, and that's a pretty huge deal for sure. But yeah, all week we practiced for Charlotte as well, and you know, I can't thank D1RT guys for working with me this week, and was a good week for us, and we did our best tonight. And like I said, you know, we did our best, and I mean everything else, and it just felt in line, and you know, we couldn't do better. You know, we put everything we could on the line, and we qualified first, won the heat race, and finished during the race. So just decent race for sure.
So what's up next for you, Alex? I know that there's potential other world championships coming up, and we know we're going to see you in these championships going into 2020, but what's coming up for you over the course towards the end of the summer and potentially into the winter as well? Any running for that ABR real world sprint car that you're expecting to do, or any other big sim racing events as well?
Well, we're definitely going to run the the non-wing world championship coming up. We finished 24th, I think, in the points or something like that. So for the qualifier, so we're going to be in this, and we will win the Oshawa Nationals. We should be. We're signed up for that in September 14th with the Empire Super Sprint Series and the 360 sprint cars, and we'll run that for the real life stuff, and it's a pretty huge deal for us for sure. But yeah, other than that, we're gonna run the non-wing stuff, and Team ABR, you know, really supports me. Jason Nagar and my girlfriend as well. It's been a great season for sure. We had a couple of bad lucks, but I think we'll try to do better in the non-wing.
Well, thanks for joining us once again, Alex. That number 12 ABR car was a ton of fun to watch all season long. You put on such a great show, and you were part of some of the most memorable finishes we've had in iRacing esports history all season long. The last 3 races have been absolutely next level. But before we let you go for the final time, who gets it done for that number 12 ABR Super Late Model?
Well, absolutely, Team ABR. Jason Nagar, he worked with me all season long, trying to get this car dialed in for every race. Really means a lot. My girlfriend as well for every other stuff. My dad as well. All the fans out there for watching. iRacing for putting this series out. World of Outlaws. I got to thank my sponsors as well, my partners. Was a great season. NeoB.com, the Sanctuary Kinis, BK Designs for all the iRacing paints, TSI Chalks, Max McLaughlin Racing, Meyer Inc., and you guys for broadcasting. It's always a pleasure to be in here.
There he was. Alex Bergeron comes home in 3rd tonight and 3rd in the championship standings after 10 rounds of racing. Last driver we're going to have a chat to is going to be the driver of the 0 of Kevin Dedman, who comes home today. He rounds out the top 5 in the running order, but he locks up 4th in the points after all is said and done, with his teammate, the 33 of Evan C., having issues and finishing 10 laps down. Kevin, I'd ask you where that money is going to go, but I'm going to be honest, you're a musician. What instruments are you already eyeing up?
I don't know, man. I think I got all the instruments I want for right now. Tell you the truth, man, I've been eyeballing an Outlaw cart to run down. I'm pretty close to Millbridge Speedway, and Nick Hoffman and Jeremy Burnett and Ashley Burnett that run that track are some of my good buddies. So they've been talking me into maybe getting one of those. So if I sell my truck, I don't know, I might, see what I can do and get in a car in real life.
Yeah, man, for sure. I mean, obviously, you know me from there, and I come from the Outlaw car world. That'd be pretty cool to see in real life there. So, but talk about the race tonight, man. It seemed like right there at the beginning, you looked like possibly the car to beat. You came up alongside Blake there a couple times for the race lead, and then maybe had some contact there midway through the race, and kind of set you back a little bit. And after that, you couldn't really, rebound to get back up there. But another top 5 for you again here, and you end up 4th in the points, man. Just talk about your season overall and tonight as well. I mean, you've been good all season long, and I think next year you might be one of the championship contenders.
Yeah, man, I hope so. I feel like, especially here the last 5, probably 6 races of the season, I came on strong. And if I ran that good the first 4 races, then I think I, possibly could have been neck and neck with those guys. But they were consistent all season. That's part of it. Congratulations to Blake Majulis on the championship. Those guys definitely earned it. Him, Kendall, Alex Bergeron, they were consistent all year. So, and I hate that I had to pass Evan in the points tonight, because I'll be honest with you, with my schedule and traveling as much as I do, a lot of my setup help has come from Evan C. And, he's a huge part of the reason I've ran as well as I have. So I got to say thank you to him.
Well, Kevin, congratulations, though, on rounding out the championship, at least with the top 5 here, and getting yourself 4th in the points. A successful effort for you, and as well as Evan at VLR. You guys really came on strong. You particularly, he was strong at the start of the season. You came on near the end of it really, really well, and you were part of pretty much all of these great fights at the head of the field. But before we let you go, Kevin, who gets it done for everyone involved, not only with yourself, but that number 0 VLR machine?
Yeah, man. Like I said, I want to thank Team VLR, and obviously Evans helped me a lot on setups. Full Throttle Performance and Daniel Powell and those guys over there. CNC Racing Designs, Jamison Colbridge for designing a cool car. The story behind my car, I don't know if y'all can tell it on the broadcast, but the 0, it says Orange Blossom Special on it, which is a pretty famous fiddle song. So I'm a musician. That's where the Orange Blossom Special comes from on the car. And he took my idea and ran with it on the paint scheme, which I thought looked pretty awesome out there on the track. Ice Fighter Racing and Rocky Battenfield, iRacing, iFlag, Jeff Brown, Capron Screen Printing and Jeremy Capron, Slide Job Ranch, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Blake Garrett for doing an awesome job spotting, my girlfriend Jason Nygaard, my wife Kristen Dedman, and that's about it, man. Thank you. Thank you guys for doing a killer job on the broadcast too.
Well, we enjoy it. We appreciate you sending us our thanks. Congratulations to you as well, and hope to see you run strong in 2020.
Appreciate it, guys. Hey, and before I go, I want to invite everybody that is planning on going to the World of Outlaws World Finals. My band will be doing the kickoff party there. I believe it is Wednesday. It's either Wednesday night or the Thursday night that kicks it off. I can't remember off the top of my head, but stay posted on that, and would love to see you guys come check out my band Dirty Grass Soul with that.
There you go, everyone. The opportunity to meet Kevin Dedman at the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway for the World of Outlaws World Finals. Not something you are going to want to miss. But Chase, what a season we have had. The sprint cars, there was drama there all season long, but they did not match what the super late models put on throughout their entire 10-week season. Absolutely fantastic racing from start to finish. There was not really very many races that people ran away with. But in the end, it's going to come down to Blake Matulis, who comes home our $10,000 championship winner after what is a fantastic season for him.
Yeah, man, and we've got the updated points on your screen. He wins by 7 over Tucker and just 8 points over the 12 car of Alex Bergeron. So one of the most heated battles of all time, I think, in iRacing esports history was contended here tonight at the Charlotte Motor Speedway dirt track, and it was an absolute pleasure to be able to call it alongside you, Randy. And I'm going through Facebook right now. I'm good friends, or I'm not good friends, but I'm friends at least with Blake Majulis on Facebook, and the amount of posts on his wall right now is unbelievable. How many people are congratulating him on this? It goes to show how big this really is. It's not just something that this guy sits in his room in his mom's basement and does or whatever. But I mean, all these people know about him, man. He's $10,000 richer. He's got people on Twitter congratulating him all over the place. I mean, it's just a cool deal.
It's definitely a cool deal, and as we wind down this World of Outlaws Morton Building Super Late Model Championship Series here for 2019, Chase, it's important to remember we're not done yet. Starting Wednesday, September the 11th, we're kicking off the USAC World Championship Dirt Series. We're not exactly sure the exact details of that yet. Don't believe a schedule has been made public, but we do know that is the starting date. Non-wing sprint car action. Sounds like something that's right up your alley.
Yeah, definitely really excited for that one. Unfortunately, as we've discussed off the mic, I will have to miss the first one due to some real-life racing that's going on that night. But I think that's going to be probably...
You can say you're working a World of Outlaw and USAC show.
Yeah, we'll be at the Placerville show over there at Placerville, California, so that'll be pretty cool. But I think that series, man, with what I've watched from the qualifying series, those cars are the hardest ones to drive on the service, and I think it's really going to provide some awesome racing over there in the USAC AMSOIL National Sprint Car iRacing Series, if that's what it's going to be called. I'm not really sure yet, but I just made up the name for it. But yeah, I think that's going to be a really good one to watch, and I hope everybody tunes in for that one.
It's going to be an absolutely fantastic series. Going to take the wings off the sprint cars, and trust me, they will run very, very differently from the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink wing sprint cars you saw a little bit earlier on this year on the iRacing Esports Network. But that is going to do it for the World of Outlaws Morton Buildings Late Model Championship iRacing Series and both of the World of Outlaws Esports Championships here on the iRacing service. Alex Bergeron wins in the sprint cars, and here tonight, the 127 of Blake Mutulu takes championship honors in the Morton Buildings Late Model Championship Series. Coming up, though, we have more esports competition coming at you this week. Tomorrow night, Tuesday night, be sure to tune in for the eNASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series first round at the playoffs for the track that's too tough to tame at Darlington. Going to be an absolutely thriller event. Throwback paint schemes up and down the field. Be sure to tune in for that. It is going to be an absolutely amazing event to watch. It is going to be one of the most entertaining ovals, in my opinion, on the NASCAR circuit. But from all of us here at RaceBot TV and the iRacing Esports Network, that is going to do it for us. Huge thanks coming from all of us, myself, Randy Chineth, Chase Rodman, and Hugo Louise, for joining us on your Monday evenings and making us a part for the last 20 weeks of these World of Outlaws Esports Championships. It has been our pleasure to bring you these events, and we hope to see you in the future. Thanks as well goes out to not only the World of Outlaws, but to the Morton Buildings and NOS Energy for sponsoring the late model and sprint car series respectively. And huge thanks as well to Dirt Vision for all the support they bring us. But that is going to do it for us here tonight. We hope to see you all next time. Bye-bye.